So multiple people I know back home in California knew the man that passed away. I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess you could say passed away, but allegedly he was killed by a ICE agent. And people were mad because it's like they would prefer that another dude from another gang killed him instead of someone from law enforcement. That's the problem with us Californian people. We are delusional and misguided. The problem is there's a lack of accountability in the community. And people feel, they don't think, they feel that if you are black, you should be able to commit any crimes. And there is no circumstance where you should be arrested or shot by police. I strongly disagree. There's a reason for everything. Public safety is paramount. We have children, we have families, we have laws. Again, not holding people accountable is why men keep making certain poor decisions with their lives. So I make this video not so much to demean what this man did or how he passed, but to more so use it as a learning technique, a way to show people what not to do. I'll be honest, I've made mistakes in the past myself, and I've held myself accountable, and I've talked about it publicly on this channel. Many of you have followed me. You've seen that I've been pretty transparent about my imperfections. Luckily, I survived, but you are not always going to survive every encounter. That's why we have to do better while we are here. So let's go ahead and listen to a little of this and see what they're saying.
Keith Porter's mother, overcome with grief at the candlelight vigil in Carson, where she raised him. This is the second memorial in a week for the father of two shot and killed in Northridge by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve.
Took our loved one from us. You murdered our loved one, and it's not fair. It's not right.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, the off-duty ICE agent heard gunfire near his apartment and went to check it out. That's when DHS says the officer encountered Porter holding a long rifle. Advocates say Porter's gunfire that night was his way of observing the holiday.
But yes, that's not what we do. We are from California. This is Los Angeles. We do not fire guns to celebrate the holiday. This is not Texas or Tennessee. It's LA County. So that's BS. And somebody in his circle, in his family, someone that loved him should have gave him better advice. They failed him, but he also failed himself, unfortunately. But again, you're not going to survive every encounter. It's sad, but it could have been avoided by you just making better decisions as an adult.
It was illegal, but at the end of the day, it's American tradition.
So even his father said it was illegal, but it's an American tradition. That's not the case. Also, Los Angeles people don't consider themselves Americans. You'll never see an American flag. You'll never see someone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. They are not Americans. They are from a cutout of the United States. They have citizenship and they speak English, but it doesn't mean that they're Americans.
80 years old. It's happened as long as I can remember. That's one of the things that happens. People shoot guns as part of fire.
Okay, so she is a white liberal woman. She has the short haircut, multiple rings, likely no husband and no offspring. You have to ignore everything she says.
And when he didn't comply, DHS says the off-duty officer fired his service gun. The agency claims Porter fired 3 rounds at the off-duty agent before he was killed.
And you cannot fire guns at law enforcement. You cannot drive cars toward law enforcement. You cannot ignore lawful orders of law enforcement and know that and expect to have 100% guarantee you're going to survive the encounter. Again, you potentially could be a nail. We hire law enforcement to be hammers. We need them to protect the public from dangerous people. That is their job. I don't know what people think their job is, but their job is to protect certain people from other people. This man is outside in front of his house firing a gun. Then he points a gun at a cop and starts to shoot. I don't. And now, and like I said, a friend of mine is his cousin. And, she was like, oh, you're so insensitive. How? Literally, I had a relative of mine who was out of line and almost got herself killed by pulling a weapon on a man, and then that man pulled a gun. I talked about that. There's everything is up for grabs in the public eye, but also we have to, if you aren't willing to talk to your other relatives about this type of behavior and say, hey, don't do this, someone has to. If it takes me or another random creator and have these conversations directly with you and your relatives, then so be it. I'm trying to keep you alive. You not holding people in your family accountable around you because you want to, you want people to like you and you don't want to seem adversarial. That's getting these people killed. That's what the problem was here. No one would tell him the truth. No one would tell him he was wrong. Everyone here is making excuses. And where did that get him?
Human rights issue.
The 43-year-old's death touching complete strangers. Judy Vaughn from Mid-City drove 20 miles to Carson for his memorial instead of marching at an anti-ICE protest closer to home.
We all need.
This has nothing to do with ICE. ICE is law enforcement. I don't understand why you guys are so confused about who or what ICE is. ICE is no different than ATF, FBI, DEA, fuck the IRS. Hell, a park ranger. If a government vehicle with lights tells you to pull over and they are armed, comply. Period. If you don't agree with these laws and you don't agree with what I'm saying, move to another country and stay alive. Because not listening, not compliance, and literally wanting to fight with law enforcement or threaten them or try to harm them, you're going to die. And I don't want you to die. So that's why I always suggest to people, leave the country. Move. Why? Okay, how about this? Life is precious. Why throw your life away fighting law enforcement on the side of the road when you can just move to another country? Matter of fact, how about this? Why rot your life away in prison because you're trying to fight with law enforcement? Why not just move to another country? Why would you rather? I thought you hate this country. I thought the country was racist and oppressive. Okay, then you should have no problem leaving this country and staying alive. Because it seems like you're dying just to be here, but why would you die to be somewhere that's bad? Maybe you're lying. Maybe this place isn't bad. Maybe it's you that's bad. Maybe you're the problem. It's not the country. It's not the government. It's not the administration. It's you. You have to look in the mirror. You're the source of all your own issues. You're going to have to do better or leave the country and stay alive. The best advice anybody's going to give you.
To recognize the shared humanity and come together. And I just wanted to be here to be a part of this group saying
she's making excuses for criminal behavior. She is the enemy. She wants you to die. She wants you to throw your life away. Is she about to grab a gun and go shoot on a holiday? Absolutely not, because she's not an idiot. She understands there are consequences and repercussions, and every action has a justified reaction. She doesn't want those problems. She wants you to do it, though, which is what she's out here trying to convince you that the police were wrong for enforcing the laws. We have laws on the books. One of the laws is you cannot point a gun and try to shoot law enforcement. Another law in California is you can't just shoot randomly into the air. What goes up must come down. Have I done it before in the past? Yes. Not proud of it. Made no sense and literally could have hurt somebody. We don't do that anymore. You live and you learn. But when you see people her age out here putting all the blame on the officer who stopped him instead of the man who committed the crime, that's what makes me just so fucking disgusted and sick of these damn liberals.
Life is valuable. His life matters. And we need to speak out in as many ways as possible.
While LAPD investigates what led up to Porter's final moments, people here want the off-duty ICE officer identified, arrested, and charged.
Hurt.
That's not going to happen. That's not what they actually want. What they want is a settlement from the city because their relative essentially committed suicide by cop. There's no other definition for it. There was no way he thought he was going to get into a shootout with an armed officer, whether he had another armed person, where he knew he was going to survive and, go on with his life, no problems, like on the TV show or in the movies. That's not realistic. This wasn't even someone doing something to him. This is something he did to himself. This should be expected. You've lived in this country and you've seen this situation time and time again. How do they always turn out? Do the bad guy who's shooting at the police, do they survive and become president and move up in history? And no, they're extinguished instantly on the side of the roads, and their family have to come pick them up, pick out a casket, and bury them. If you don't want to have to replace your relatives, talk to them. Help them make better decisions. If you see they're about to do something, stop being a fucking yes person. A lot of these issues that I've seen amongst my own friends and my own relatives were because nobody wanted to give them better advice. Nobody wanted to say, hey, don't do that. Someone's going to kill you. They'll know that they have relatives about to go rob someone's house, and they are too chicken shit to say, hey, the person you're going to steal from, they just might kill you, so don't go. You're better off going to get a job or going to do something else. How about don't do that? Then their relative, because they don't say anything, the relative goes out, they break into a house, they steal a car, someone kills them, and then they want to try to sue the person who defended themselves and their property. This is the problem. This is why we keep seeing this happen over and over again. And it's not because of law enforcement. It's not because of the laws. It's because of you. You're going to have to do better if you're going to stay in this country.
This is my brother. He was my life. He was my kid's life. He was the life of our family.
Dennis Means, unfortunately, my friend, that's not true. ICE, it works for our federal government, and the entire country is a border town, essentially. ICE can be in Nevada. ICE can be in Kentucky. ICE can be in Wyoming. ICE can be anywhere in this country. ICE can be in, there's ICE agents in Hawaii right now. There's ICE agents in Anchorage. You, as a citizen, again, you don't get to control. You don't get to create the rules. You get to follow them, and you're not the person who makes the rules. Law enforcement and the president, they make the rules. Congress used to make the rules, but they're for sale. They're even now being pulled out of the equation. If you want to survive, follow the rules. Don't pretend you can make your own rules. This man thought he could make his own rules. He could not. I would hope you would do better and not put yourself in that type of position. We have an army. I don't know if you do, but we do. And you and whoever has the army makes the rules. You can't just, words are not going to equate to anything. Talk is cheap, but you're in a box. It's just like those people that say, I had the right of way, so I walked out into the street. Yeah, but you got smacked by a bus and you're dead. Okay, the bus driver shouldn't have hit you, but you're dead. So maybe let's not pay chicken with the bus. Maybe we should let the bus have it the right of way right now because they're the one with the size and the mass. You do not have that. That's why these arguments don't make any sense.
Organizers say on Tuesday that they will attend LAPD's police commission meeting to petition the chief to make Keith Porter's death investigation transparent. Organizers also acknowledge the shooting death of Renee Good, who was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minnesota.
Now, the thing is this, they're going to want to sue. They're going to want money. California is liberal. The city of the city of Northridge, there's going to be a financial settlement. I would say roughly on average from what I've seen, these type of cases, they'll settle out of court for around $2 million, maybe 2.5, no more. I don't see it being any less. For his age range, they're going to use ICE. Yeah, I'll say 2.5 million. And that's the only reason why they're showing up to these meetings. Now, if a random gang member had drove by, seen him, and they had a shootout and he died, there wouldn't have even been one vigil. But because it was law enforcement and they want to get paid, they're going to push this issue until they can't squeeze it anymore, which is unfortunately how it goes. But honestly, everybody doesn't agree. Most people have common sense and are being honest.
Why are you not talking about Keith Porter, the black man that was unalive by ICE? Well, some things I just don't want to talk about. I'm not your local reporter. If I feel like talking about it, I would. But the fact that I actually did some research, I can't believe y'all just had me waste my time. The man was shooting guns on the holiday into the air. And an off-duty officer, off-duty ICE agent heard him. He was a neighbor. Said, what are those gunshots? Went out there, and he's holding a rifle. Buddy tell him put the rifle down. He doesn't. And then allegedly shoots 3 times at the officer. Officer shoots back, kills him. What are we talking about? Ain't no way y'all just had me look. Then that whole side is defending Keith Porter, talking about it's the black people tradition to go outside and shoot guns in the air on a holiday. It's still illegal. So what do you expect from an officer? Off duty, on duty, it don't matter. What would you expect from an officer to hear illegal activity going on, hearing gunshots going on in the neighborhood, but y'all expected him to go outside and say, the black people are out. It's their tradition. Let me not interfere. What do you? Then the officer approaches Keith Porter because he's not black, so he has no idea this is going on. He's just trying to look at a guy that has a rifle in his hand shooting in the air. He says, put the gun down. Keith Porter doesn't put the gun down. Whatever happens, Keith Porter fires at the officer. Officer shoots back. Keith Porter dies. And y'all are mad at the officer? If that's what really happened, get off my phone.
And I'll be honest with you, that is the overall consensus against the majority of Americans. But again, there's only 2 groups that are always going to defend criminals, that are always going to defend any and everything evil. There's only 2 groups that defend pedophiles. And think about it. They try to call Trump a pedophile. There's 2 groups that call Trump a pedophile. But they're the same 2 groups that literally helped pass the bill, Senate Bill 145 out of California, which is literally decriminalization of pedophilia. They supported that group, but then they try to pretend like they're against it. They're liars. And that's the black community and the gay community. They're always going to defend criminals, fraud. They're going to defend murderers, rapists, child traffickers. They defend all of it because they see Trump. If Trump's against child trafficking, rape, and murder, they are pro child trafficking, rape, and murder because anything, they're the opposite of Trump. So that's how you know where they stand. Now, personally, I don't like those other things. I don't like rapists, child traffickers, pedos. I don't like them. I hate them. They're my enemies. But they're always, for the most part, Democrats or liberal people that live in those worlds and those lifestyles. So I'm on the right. And I'll be honest, I like law enforcement more than I like these other people. I just do. I appreciate law enforcement. What was done had to be done, and he didn't really give them any other options. Suicide by cop is my assessment of the situation. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.